That was in my time here at Northwest is the most, I want to say it's the most unified I've seen. Greek life, the way he told his story about it was different than any other mental health talk I've heard. Foster's been in our shoes as college students. It was more down to earth.
When I walked into the room, I thought it was super impactful to see people who may not interact on a daily basis come into a room for the collective good of being able to hear such a powerful message. And I think that when Foster was speaking, there was this kind of aha moment, not only like in myself, but in other people. There was something so powerful in the way that Foster made everyone know that like you can process your emotions in whichever way is best for you, but processing your emotions is like most important to be able to, get through whatever you're working through in that moment.
What is up? Welcome to the Underwater FlyZone podcast. How you doing, Foss?
Let's get it. I'm doing good, bro. How you doing?
Good. I'm excited to get into this one. That one felt a little more normal. Doing the intro last week. I just need one episode to get past the jitters of not hearing you say welcome to the Underwater FlyZone podcast.
Yes.
And now it's normal.
Last week's episode was crazy, bro.
Fun time. I genuinely mean this. If you didn't go watch it, go back. It was, in general, a great episode. It had the best moment of a podcast I have ever been on. And was, I feel like, some of the best, like, consistent conversation that we've had. Not necessarily, like, the high was the highest, but there wasn't a ton of, like, high moments like there are in the others where it's like a deep conversation.
Yeah.
But there was not lulls in conversations. There weren't any conversations I felt like were worth skipping.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to start with a recap of that first episode. I'm not going to do this every week where we talk about the one before.
Yeah, that was a big one, though.
But since that was the first episode, we had the big news. Again, go watch it. And we're kind of getting our feet under us. Now that we last sat down and talked about it, you edited the video, had time to digest. What are kind of some of your takeaways you had from that episode?
Well, first things first, my first takeaway is I did horrible at promoting it. So shout out to anybody that actually watched it. That means you literally saw it dropped on YouTube without us saying anything and went and watched it. So you're a real one if you went and watched it.
I'm going to see how many views it has.
It's got like probably 30, maybe less.
Which is really impressive. 38.
For 38 views for no promotion. The only promotion I did was last night, which was Sunday night. We record these on Mondays, typically.
Paired with another.
Paired with a different shout out. I mentioned it for the first time. So if you watched it, you're a real one.
I saw you post that, and it was like link to the podcast. And then in the top, it said go follow
YPLJ.
And I was like, oh, did he link the wrong account before I started watching? I was like, oh, no, it's the podcast one. And then I took 8 seconds to listen.
But no, I thought it was great, bro. I loved the just casual conversation. And all the episodes are going to be pretty good conversation because we've had good conversations since we were 5 years old. So
absolutely.
It also made me think, I'm like, dude, he's the perfect host. You were the perfect host. I love being able to come in here and just know that you are going to deliver a great episode. I just know it's going to happen.
Well, I think outside of the big news, which is obviously the highlight of the episode, the other thing is something that I don't typically want to call out when it happens, but I texted you about this and I want to talk about it just this one time, where you talk about like our conversation, because we've been having it for 20 years, is really good. And I think both of us kind of behind the scenes, whether intentional or not, have a professionalism about creating a product. Yeah. You've talked about liking me on episodes because you don't have to guide the conversation. When it's you and a guest, your job is to keep the conversation flowing. They are there to be interviewed. Your job to fill the blanks. But now I'm also here to like keep the conversation flowing. And at one point I asked you the question about like, what have you changed your mind about? Yeah. And you were like, oh, I don't know. What about you? I was like, oh, I also don't know. And we both clearly had nowhere to go. And I started thinking, and you were going down a path where like you were going to make something happen, but you clearly were just filling the silence. And then I had these small, like looking back, it was even smaller facial reaction than I thought. Just like a little like, and you were like, okay, that means he has something. And you were like, oh, did you have something? And that's when I was like, okay, he needs help. And I was like, yeah. And I like took the ball and we just kept going. And like, someone watching wouldn't have noticed that it wasn't going anywhere unless they were looking for it. And I feel like that's something that we'll be able to provide a lot, where there's not going to be a lot of dead silence. Where like we kind of have an idea when there's going to be and can get ahead of it.
Yeah, so two things I'll say is the first thing is y'all watching in that moment or any moment where a question is asked, be interactive, y'all. That's one thing I want to really have with this podcast, doing it every week. The comments, I think it was you, my wife, and your mom.
Yes, and then someone named Owen P. I just looked. I don't know.
Shout out Owen P.
Yeah, they said congrats on the huge news. So they at least listen about 10 minutes in.
Let's go. Thank you, Owen.
Yeah.
And that's cool. I hadn't seen that yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I want. I want interaction. That would be incredible. That'd be the dream. My vision for this is we come in, have a good conversation every week. I don't care if it gets 30 views or 300 views or 3,000 views. Whatever happens with the views, it doesn't really matter. As long as there is people being interactive in the comments, that would mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
And then
ask questions, clarify.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna be in there from my personal account, responding to stuff. Or if people have a conversation, I want the podcast to continue into you guys watching it in the comment section.
Well, and then also if Spencer asks me a question, what do you want to see for future merch? You guys go answer that question in the comments, because your answer is actually much more important than whatever I say, because all of what I do is based off of your guys' feedback. So for real, if you guys watch this podcast, you are complete behind the scenes. You get to, control some of the things that happen. Your words really do matter to me, and they always have. So anyways, the second thing I'll say is what they're doing is they're watching a true conversation of ours. So I was even thinking today, every time you would ask a question on the last episode, I felt like I had to say something right away. I was thinking about this today. I was like, I don't have to answer right away. We can sit and think.
Yeah.
There could be a moment of quiet for a minute. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? Informality. Being informal, is informality a word?
Yeah.
Being informal is what I have thrived off of. Is you see our promotion videos for the upcoming pop-ups. Mm-hmm. It's not some cool edited, crazy movie trailer type thing. It's literally me in this basement, or my parents' basement most of the time, just yapping about the upcoming event. Very informal, but that really is authentic and it builds connections. So yeah, we don't ever have to worry about this being perfect. We just have to worry about it being true to who we are.
I think the biggest purpose of this is a informal way for the audience to kind of connect to you as a person beyond the brand. Yeah. You've always been very open. I mean, that's kind of the basis of everything, but this to just another level. We might not even talk about the brand for an entire episode sometimes, other than the upcoming events. It might be an entire conversation just about life and about us. Today could end up being that. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. Again, Foster never knows what we're talking about coming in. The only thing is he's going to talk about the events coming up. And other than that, I'm not usually going to tell him anything about it.
And also, I want this to, be a behind the scenes. We talked about that last week, but something else I thought about was kind of like the TM Fieldhouse event. That was an event for everybody to come together, a community event. It was like a family gathering, Mm-hmm. We did have the booth there to do pop-ups, but we also did a podcast at it, and we had that kickball game. Dude, that was so much fun. It was the community gets to come together and really rally for that one night. Mm-hmm. I want this to be that one moment a week, that 1 hour a week where everyone could come in here and it feels like we are just one big family for this hour. And then you go out and, live your life and then come back the next week and we get to have some real good conversation. Yes, it's me and you talking on the mics, but that's what I want. I want this to be kind of that same community aspect. Does that make sense? Kind of like how the TM Fieldhouse event was so yes, it's a behind the scenes on my life and even Spencer's life at times and just the brand, just a behind the scenes, but I also want it to be an hour each week where we all get to really just reconnect. And then we go out and live our lives. But then this is our reconnection. I don't know.
Yeah.
I could probably say that better, but that's what I want. And that only happens with your guys' comments. So tap in. But anyways.
All right. So I'm going to jump into, like I said, every week we're going to start with some sort of a game. Last week we played True or False, I think is what I called it. This week, very stereotypical thing a lot of podcasts have been doing. We are going to be doing blind rankings. Have you seen these?
Oh, yeah.
So I've got 2 different blind rankings we're going to do. So I already have them laid out in an order.
Okay.
I asked you, do you remember what question I asked you earlier today? I texted you to make sure this category is going to work.
I don't know if I remember.
I asked if you liked ice cream.
Oh, yeah, I did ask that.
So the first one we're going to do.
Okay.
This is 1 through 5.
I'm pretty basic here.
1 through 5, ice cream flavors.
Yeah, I'm very basic
so
here.
I've got 5 here.
Okay.
If you guys haven't ever seen it, I'm going to give him an ice cream flavor. He has to put in a spot 1 through 5, and it's staying there. So if I give him the first one and he says third, it has to stay at
Yeah.
third, even if it wouldn't being a first or a fourth. Or
Okay,
whatever.
that's fair. That's
so
fair. This
as
is
I go
cool.
down,
I like
as I go down
this.
the list,
And rank yours as well. I'm telling you guys, jump in the
this
comments.
is one of those
baby.
ones that's very interactive. So I want
Yeah.
you guys to do it. It's also, to be honest, very clippable. So it's
Yeah,
it'll
yeah.
be a good thing to put on Instagram just to see. And I'm not trying to like engagement farm, but it's just something that's a good in. People see the blind ranking. It's bada bing, bada boom.
Hey, it's okay to clip farm. Clip farming actually has built us up pretty
Clip
good.
farming is different from engagement farming. You know what I mean?
Explain that real quick.
I want to make clips that give this a good little 30 to 60-second clip of what the episode is. That's clip farming. I'm purposely making something
Yeah.
that we cut down to a good clip.
Yeah.
Engagement farming is like clickbait, where like it's untrue to what the podcast is.
Yeah, okay.
That would be like if I was here and I was like, "Oh my gosh, did you see this guy died?" And then we didn't talk about any of that at all.
Yeah,
That's engagement farming, or
Yeah, that
or
makes
saying
sense.
something controversial just to get comments about it. I'm trying to get engagement.
Okay.
Clip farming is I'm trying to get clips.
Yeah.
But it's still true
yeah.
to the podcast.
All right, let's get it. I
So,
like it.
First ice cream flavor.
Okay.
You're talking about basic. We're gonna start with chocolate.
I got number 2.
Number 2.
Yes.
Okay, got chocolate number 2. I feel like that's a safe bet. Number 2, cookies and cream.
Oof. I got that number 1.
That is my number 1 ice cream flavor of all
Really?
time.
There we
Yes.
go, bro.
So we got cookies and
Does this
cream
still
number
work?
1.
It don't work anymore. Does it work on your headphones?
Nope.
Dang it. Oh,
Didn't
well.
get anything.
It's supposed to go. Bang, 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 bang.
Number the third one, you have spots 3 through 5 open. Pistachio.
That's 5. I've never even had that. I just
5.
don't even want it.
Okay.
I'm sorry you love that.
The next one, mint chocolate chip.
That's actually 6, but I'll go 4. I don't like mint. I never liked mint too
All
much.
right. So your number 3 is coffee flavored
Oof.
ice cream.
You know what? That's a valid list because only the top 2 I would actually eat. Everything else
Okay.
I
So I'm
wouldn't
gonna go
even
back through your 1 through 5.
eat. Okay.
What you said it as, and
Yeah.
I want you to tell me if you would change it. So cookies and cream 1,
Yep.
chocolate 2,
Yep.
coffee 3,
Mm-hmm.
mint chocolate chip 4, pistachio 5. I know you don't eat 3 through 5,
Yeah.
but if you had to, would you switch
I
those around at all?
would move 4 and 5 around.
You would put mint chocolate chip at 5 and
Yes.
pistachio up to 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just don't like mint. I've never had mint really anything. It's just not.
What flavors are toothpaste?
Well, I don't even know. I mean, what is it? I don't even know. It's whatever Macy buys us. We use the same toothpaste.
It's probably mint.
It probably is, but I freaking hate it. So
Okay.
I don't
That's
know.
not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to see if you liked
that's
ice
a little
cream.
inside info. And gum, I've always not liked gum. Did you know that about me?
No, but I believe that.
Yeah.
Like that makes sense.
I-
I'm not a huge gum guy.
Yeah.
I do it sometimes if I'm like, okay, I need better breath and I'm out in public.
Yeah, I'll just brush my teeth again and
Well, like if I can't get, if I would brush my teeth before I'd use gum for that.
Yeah.
But like I have a little bit of gum in my car for that.
Dude, gum makes me, it like triggers my gag reflex. Like, ask my parents,
Too
they
much
hate
saliva. The other blind ranking that we're gonna do, this, and it's gonna kind of tie into what we're gonna talk about some today. Ranking restaurants in the like our like local area, Raymore, Belton, Lee Summit, like ones
Okay.
that I would assume, I either know or would assume that you've been to all these places, and
Yeah.
we're talking about the local version of them. So
Mhm.
if these are also other places, it's not the restaurant as a whole,
Just the local
the
one.
local
Okay.
location.
So, like the Whataburger by Raintree is like awful, but Whataburgers in other places are pretty good.
I didn't do the Whataburger because there's one in Raymore and Raintree, and
Yeah.
I didn't want to just try and choose one.
Yeah, the one in Raintree,
So
at least when I went.
that's interesting. I've only gone to the Raymore one, but because I like Whataburger. Anyway,
yeah, anyways.
so again, 1 through 5.
Yep.
Number 1, Mod Pizza in Raymore.
Me and Macy we never go on dates anymore, really. Like we try to, but our date is like today at Longview Nutrition. Shout out to everybody that popped out to Longview Nutrition today, but like that was our date. It was like a pop-up or like going on a walk by the lake or something. Like we don't really go out to eat much anymore because we're trying to save money, but we did go to Mod Pizza somewhat recently, and dude, it was fire. It was so fire, I might have to put it at number 2.
It's good.
Yeah, it was really
I
Mod
think it's
Pizza in Raymore is fire.
I think it's really underrated.
Yeah.
It's because you get to make your own pizza.
Yeah.
So like as long as you're okay with thin crust, which I would prefer a thicker crust than they have.
Yeah.
But even outside of that, everything else you get to choose.
Well, dude, we just bought one of those Raypec football like discount things. You know, the money goes to the team and we get a discount. So one of them was Mod Pizza. That's the reason we went. And
Nice.
dude, I'm going back. Like,
Yeah,
I'd
it's
go back
good.
anytime.
I do the Alfredo sauce instead of the marinara. I love white sauce on pizza. Pause.
I don't,
Um,
I don't even remember what I got last time, but it was great.
I'm like, do that and do
Yep,
that.
that's
and do
exactly
that.
what I
I go,
did.
oh, I didn't know you could put that on a pizza, but I'm going to try it.
Yep. No, Mod Pizza number 2.
Okay.
Just because I don't know what else you're about to
The
say.
next one, Jose Peppers. This is in the Belton side.
Yeah, I got to go 5. Only because I've been one time, and I don't even want to tell the story, but it was so funny. We went with Cooper, Connor, Jack, and Carson, and one of those dudes' ex-girlfriends was our server, and it just made it really awkward.
And she was an ex at the time.
Yeah, like they were
Okay,
like broken
yeah.
up, and it was like, oof. I'm like, how did this happen? And like, it just made it really awkward. So like,
Yeah.
maybe it's a great restaurant, but that was my
I
one experience.
Love Jose Peppers. It's like my favorite like Tex-Mex place. Monterey chicken burrito, no pico, no beans, double rice, and sometimes I get an extra bowl of matzah, which is like corn mash. But no one
It's
else
probably
likes it.
great. It's probably great.
That's
Sorry,
fair.
Jose Peppers.
All right, next. So you got 1, 3, and 4 open.
Yep.
Next is Raisin Cane's.
Oof, Canes. I went one time with Wesley Horner, and I got to go 4. That might be a hot take. Y'all might really light me up after
I
that.
actually think Cane's is overrated.
Really?
I think the best parts of it are really good. The sauce is amazing.
It is. Yeah, that was
The
fire.
toast, fire.
Yeah.
The chicken, decent. The fries, mid.
Yeah.
The fries are really wet. The chicken also, if you ever get it to go, the to-go box also gets really wet in there. And so the chicken doesn't travel well, but the sauce, and you can bob your toast, which is butter on both sides. It's
Okay.
free.
Okay.
Little hack for, dude, I love food, by the way.
Yeah.
If we ever talk about food on this, like that's my segment.
Okay. Okay. Well, here we go.
But I think it's a little overrated.
yeah.
Like I don't hate the 4. But next, so you have 1 and 3 open. Next is Good Sense.
I'm going 3.
Okay.
Good Sense by Snap Fitness, the one right by Royal Nutrition and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the people that work in there. I'm going 3 though, just because I don't
You're
know what
risking
you're gonna
leaving
say.
one open?
I'm risking it. Whatever one is, here we go.
No, your number 1 is La Fuente.
Oh, bingo, baby. Let's go. Even if the food wasn't my favorite, they sponsor our
means a
wiffle
lot.
ball league, so it doesn't even matter. La Fuente, number 1. I'm so glad. I'm so happy with that list.
So
Actually, that list is perfect.
But the way you talked about it, I feel like that's the way you would have ordered it.
That's perfect, dude. And La Fuente, shout out to you guys, Viviana. She doesn't work there anymore. She probably will never see this, but shout out to you, Viviana. Back when we were little kids, we'd go in there 20 kids deep, take up a whole table every Wednesday. Wiffle Wednesdays, what I called it at least. We played wiffle ball every Wednesday, and we'd take the whole squad, go in there, pack the whole place. Viviana was our server out at La Fuente, and she let us put a poster up, and they just now took it down, which honestly, that's fair. That thing was old.
It was like 8 years outdated.
Yeah, like you wouldn't even have recognized me on the poster because I was so young in the pictures that were on it, but it was there for a long time. So shout out to La Fuente. Great list. I'm down with that.
Yeah, I think that list is not what I would have done, but I think is accurate to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good
La
to-
Fuente 1. What was even 2?
So this
Mod-
year, La Fuente 1,
Dude, this is a
Mod
perfect
2,
list.
Good Sense 3, Canes 4, Jose's 5.
That is perfect.
How would you, okay, this is unrelated, then we'll get into the main meat of the episode.
Yeah.
How would you rank the main sub places, which I would say is Good Sense,
Yeah.
Subway, Jersey Mike's, Jimmy John's? I would say the big 4 of like the chain.
Jimmy John's has a special place in my heart because up in Maryville, they only really had a Jimmy John's. They had Subways, but Subway's last on my list. It used to be my favorite. I don't know what happened, bro. Michael Phelps, like, come on, man. He was their sponsor. Like, I don't know what happened, man. It dropped dramatically. Also, Cooper Simpson in Maryville at the Subway, he ordered a meatball marinara, which was my favorite sub to get there. But they put mayonnaise on it for some reason. And he was like, I don't know what to do. Like, he didn't want to be rude and tell them to stop. And so he just took it and then ate it and then puked it up. And after I saw that be puked up, I almost want to just, it's disgusting. I never could eat a meatball marinara again. I got one after that, and it triggers my gag reflex. So my favorite thing at Subway that happened. So I got to go Subway at last place.
Okay.
I also think it's fallen off just in general,
Is Jimmy
which
John's
is so
one?
unfortunate. The thing about Jimmy John's is me and Macy always went there. We'd get it. We'd go to the soccer field at Northwest Missouri State University. Go Bearcats, baby. And we would go in the soccer field stands and eat it and play Connect 4 and stuff. Like, it was the best dates ever, bro.
Yeah.
Gosh, that was great times. But it's so expensive, bro. It's so expensive. I got to go Jersey Mike's 1. I got to go Jimmy John's 2. I got to go Good Sense 3. I love how close it is, and I love the people that work there. But I'm still sticking with what I just said, and I got to go Subway 4.
I think I would have the same order.
Yeah.
I would think about switching Jersey Mike's, Jimmy John's. Because they're different.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy John's, I like the bread, and their barbecue chips are really good, and I put them on my sandwich. But Jersey Mike's meat is better.
Comment your opinion,
Good
y'all.
Sense also got good meat.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They got great meat.
So let me know your guys' list for the ice cream flavors, if you're from around here, or even if you're not, the restaurants, and then also the sub places.
Yeah, let's see what y'all say, because, I mean, Jersey Mike's and Jimmy John's, that's a tough one, you know?
Have you ever done the day-old bread from Jimmy John's? For like 50 cents, you can get a big thing of day-old bread, and it's still good.
Really?
Yeah.
I never have.
It's pretty good bread. Anyway.
Macy makes our bread anyways.
That's true. You don't need bread. We're going to start into the main segment of the podcast. It's going to take most of this time.
Let's get it.
On the topic of local restaurants, we both were born and raised pretty much in this area.
Yeah.
I moved to Ward Park Place, which is right on the edge of Raymore, right by Raintree, when I was 4.
Yep.
And we have grown up in the Raymore, the Summit, Belton our entire life, other than when we lived at college for a few years each.
Yeah.
I want to talk about what it's like growing up and then now both settling down in pretty much the same area we grew up. Pros, cons. I've got some guiding questions if you need a direction, but just what are your general thoughts on that as a whole?
Okay. There is so much I could say, and I actually want to switch the camera right now before we get into it.
Okay.
All right,
That'll work.
All right, we're back. Dude, why are you asking me this right now? Because
this was the
this
first.
is crazy you're asking me this right now. I've just been thinking about this week.
Well, like 3 months ago, this was the first note in my notes page of Underwater FlyZone podcast ideas. Like, this was the first thing I thought about when it was like, hey, you might host.
Yeah.
This was the first one. So this is not a new thing that I've thought about.
Okay, well, that's just crazy because I was thinking about this literally yesterday about how whenever we went to Dallas back in March of 2025, we went and had one of our best events ever. We went back 2 weeks later and had double that other event, and it was officially our best event ever.
Yeah.
And then we went back again and again and again and again. We've been there 6 or 7 times now. I'm sorry. Literally, like, that's how many times we've been there. I think it's 7 times. But, dude, I just started to fall in love with Dallas, and I literally was talking to Macy about how I really think we could move to Dallas and live there and love it, and it would be great. And then, I mean, my parents watch these podcasts, especially my mom, and I brought up the idea of like, I might move to Dallas, and I think they just dismissed it as like, that will never happen. But I don't think people understood how serious my mindset was about it. I was like, dude, you know, they always say you have to leave your hometown to quote unquote make it big. You have to leave your hometown, that you have to get that growth, and that they say just so much happens when you leave your hometown. You meet new people, new opportunities present themselves that never would have presented themselves in your hometown. And also in your hometown, you're known as one thing. Like, people from high school know me as what I was in high school, but I'm completely a grown, much more grown version of myself now, but their opinions about me are still the version of me that they knew. So it's like, if you move away, you're getting surrounded by people that they have new opinions about you. They don't know who you are. So like when I went to Maryville, in high school I was kind of a shyer kid, I guess you could say. In Maryville, nobody knew that. I won homecoming king in Maryville. Like, that never would have happened at Ray Peck back in high school.
Yeah.
But that was like a small sliver of what it would look like to move away. So I thought, man, I can make it big scale down in Dallas. I'm connected with some of the most influential people in Dallas. I have their phone numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I could make that happen. But obviously we're in my house right now. It didn't happen. And the reason for that is I just thought, you know what? I could move away. I could make it big. I could grow and get these opportunities and it'd all be so cool. But what's the point if I'm in Dallas doing all these great things, accomplishing all these great things, but I only see my parents once every month, if that, once every couple months? See my grandparents, 5 or 6 more times ever, because I'll be gone, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I just saw my grandpa earlier today. He just comes and drives by and says what's up, you know? Like, that's worth more than any amount of success, any amount of accomplishment, any amount of whatever would have came about my life if I moved to Dallas or moved away. I'm good on all that, you know? I'm good on that. I don't even need any of that. I got everything I need right here. My wife's parents are coming over tonight for dinner. I was hanging out with my parents yesterday. Those are the most important people in my life. You know, I get to do this podcast with you, not some random dude I just met in Dallas, you know, which I love all the people in Dallas. I love all the people in Maryville. That was a great time of my life. We talked about moving back to Maryville because we could have got a house for much more affordable than we could have here. But just, I guess, for lack of a better term, you know, miss me with all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm good on that. I want to be here with my people. And I also told my dad this. I'm like, I don't care to leave this neighborhood. Like, I grew up in this neighborhood. I now live in this neighborhood. I don't care to go anywhere else. You know, this is what I know, and this is all I care to know. And people might look at that and say, oh, there's so much out there. I don't care, bro. I have everything I need. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you already have everything you need, what more are you looking for? Like, I'm already completely fulfilled. Like, I already get to see the people I love all the time, you know, right here in this area. I get to make an impact and make a difference in the towns I care about the most. You know, Lee Summit, Raymore. We could still go up to Maryville. It's right there. We could still go down to Dallas anytime. We do all the time. You know, like, I don't know, dude. I love where we're from. I love it. I love Raymore. I love Lee Summit. I really love Lee Summit. Shout out to Lee Summit. This month of June has been incredible. I think this drops in July, but it's being recorded in June. And June's been our best month ever, and it was really Lee Summit focused. Like, you know, downtown days, the TM Fieldhouse event. Even the event we did at Street Warehouse this past weekend, dude, it was a ton of Lee Summit people driving all the way up to North Kansas City to come support. And then our other big event this month, Belton Nutrition, you know?
Yeah.
Right here in our town, in our area where we grew up, is where this message is being spread. And I think it's also, side note, so cool that so many people are repping LA Apparel top quality t-shirts in our hometown, you know?
Yeah.
And not only that, they're LA Apparel top quality t-shirts that have the message "Your life is worth living" on it. Like, it's incredible. I don't want to get big anywhere else. I want this to happen right here, you know? I don't know.
You took, like, so much of what you said is exactly my thought process and me and McKenna's thought process in doing the same thing and settling down here.
Yeah.
We didn't have necessarily the pull of another place like Dallas in the same way you did. I mean, we like sort of considered staying in Wichita where we went to college, but I really liked Wichita, but I liked it for college. Like, I liked it for a few years.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, it's time to go home. And I talked about it last week. A big goal of mine and for most of my life was like, okay, be a father.
Yeah.
Raise a family.
Yeah.
And that is so much easier when you have the support of family and my close friends who almost
definitely.
entirely all live around here.
Mm-hmm.
Of my groomsmen, one of them, Wesley, still lives in Wichita. Everyone else here lives local. Both my parents live here. 2 of my 3 grandparents live in town. Almost all, like pretty much all of my close friends still live here. It's just so much of the support system we've built. So much of McKenna's family is local as well. Like, so much of our support system is here that we honestly never really considered it. And there might be a time that we look back and say, maybe we should have thought about it while we could. Maybe between college and starting a family, maybe we could have, for what you're talking about, where it's like there's that unique opportunity, but we just never really felt the pull to do that. Like, we liked the local support. I think we're both very Midwest people. At one point before college, I considered studying away, which studying away is like studying abroad, but it's within the country. I thought about doing that at a school on one of the coasts because East or West Coast, very different from the Midwest, where Wichita is basically Kansas City, but windier. And that was about it. Like, it's a very similar weather, very similar vibe of people. Other than there's still a lot of Kansas City fans of like Chiefs and things like that, but here now, it's like borderline a crime to wear Broncos gear.
Yeah.
In Wichita, it was almost as close to Denver as it is Kansas City.
Yeah.
So other than there being a few more Broncos fans, very, very similar vibe.
Yeah.
So I thought about going to the coasts for a little bit for like a semester just to see, but then it just wasn't in the cards, and I don't regret it. Like I'm very okay with settling down here. Like you said, it's like the support system. Yeah, I could have reinvented myself, but if people know me as who I was in high school, I don't really care that they're not learning who the new me is.
That's what I was just thinking.
Like,
I was
like
gonna
my
say that
friends, like you don't think of me as the same as what you did 6 years ago when I was graduating high school. And
yeah,
for
no,
the
but
better.
I've also always known you on that deep level. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people only know the surface level of you.
Yes.
Like I've always known, like, oh, at Spencer's core, I know this dude. I know who this dude is. You know?
Absolutely. Like, and the people who I care about knowing who I am will know that regardless of if I'm here or somewhere else.
Most definitely.
And if I went somewhere else, they'd still only know the surface area version of me. Like whether I want to or not, I kind of have a tendency to mask and act as who I feel like people need me to be until I'm with the people I'm most comfortable with. I have a tendency, I like feeling, it's from my anxiety. I like feeling important to a group. I like feeling like I matter.
Yeah.
I like feeling like a glue guy. And so when I'm with different groups, even with the people I'm closest with, I kind of like to fill a role. Like with my closest friend groups where I am just who I truly am, I still fill the role of like, I'm one of the two people who like will plan something. Like it's like me and Jace. If something is going to get planned that's like a thing, it usually is one of us, and I'm okay with that. But then with people who don't, like at work, it's like I fill a role of like kind of the personality hire. Like I'm good at my job, or at least I think so. But I'm also like gonna bring personality. Other people maybe get angry, so I kind of like a peacemaker sometimes. And it's like I like filling that role. I would do that if I moved to Texas or I moved to California, New York, or wherever I moved. I would still do that. I'd get a new friend group.
Yeah.
And I would be whoever I need to be for that friend group.
Yeah.
So I might as well do that here where I've got family.
For sure. And then there's a flip side of this whole conversation as well. Because, you know, my mom grew up in Iowa and she loved her hometown and she could have stayed there, but she just had this desire to move to Kansas City, and she did. And if she never did that, I wouldn't exist. You know, everything that my family is would not be here because my mom would have still been up in Iowa. You know, like she made that decision, and thank goodness she did. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? So this is just, there's kind of like multiple ways to live your life. You know, you just got to kind of pick one. You know, there's no right and there's no wrong. So me saying that I would never move away is not right or wrong. It's just my
It's
preference.
just what works
like,
for you.
I could have moved, like you just said, I could have moved away to Dallas, and it could have been great.
And it almost certainly would have been. Like,
yeah, like
it's
it
just
definitely.
a different kind of good.
Yeah.
If I moved to Seattle, Washington, like yeah, it'd rain more often, but like I probably could have figured it out. Like
Yeah, for sure.
What are the odds it would have been a failure? Pretty low.
Definitely.
I just in the moment decided that being here was better. But
Yeah, for sure.
some people have moved away. Like people I went to high school with, they seem to be doing really good in other places, and like that's awesome. And I would want that for anyone. That's just kind of what life is in the moment making a decision. And I'm not going to live my life thinking, oh, when I graduated college, should I have moved away before settling down here? Because like, who cares? Like, even if that could have been better, I didn't do that. So let's make what I'm doing now great. And I feel like that's what I've been doing is I'm trying to spend time with friends when I can, even if life gets busy. Like I'm trying to settle down. I'm trying to be with my family. Like where I am, I'm going to fill that cup. I'm not going to think about like, oh, what if I went there?
Yeah.
Who cares?
For sure.
Throw that cup away. Don't think about it.
Definitely. And we have a friend, one of Macy's best friends. She's one of my best friends too, but she's always talked about moving away. Always talked about moving away to Arizona or to South Carolina or somewhere. She's always talked about it. Well, in the past couple months, it got pretty serious, and she started, you know, looking for other jobs and looking for places to live. And they even went to Charleston, South Carolina to tour apartments and stuff. And then they come back and she gets a job offer.
Here?
Yeah. No, in South Carolina, in Charleston, South Carolina. She gets a job offer in Charleston. They already went, toured all the places, and she started to get real hesitant. She's like, gosh, I don't know if I should really do it. And I was like, no. You have had this desire for like 3 years. You have to do it.
Yeah.
You have to do it. Like, if you don't do it, you're always going to sit back and say, what if? You know, so if you have the desire, you almost have to do it. Like, you
Honestly,
almost have
I
to
think,
go do it.
I think, not to get too motivational, I think that's a good just lesson in general, like going for it.
Yeah.
It's always going to feel nerve-wracking to do something big like that, or do something risky, or something where you don't have the safety net. You talked about it for a while with doing the brand full time. You lose the safety net there.
Yeah.
You move to South Carolina, everything you've established here isn't as useful. I mean, you still have your friends, but it's not there to save you. Your family isn't there. So that's really scary.
Yeah.
But there's a reason you've always wanted to do it. And that's if someone has always wanted to start a podcast, like you just did it. Like,
yeah, you just have to do it.
You didn't worry about how it was going to, same with the brand. Like, you just do it. And obviously it's worked out. And sometimes it might not. And that is the risk you take. But especially if you've always desired something, like, why not? Go do it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, and she's doing it. She got the apartment. She's gone in August.
That's all.
I won't say who. I'll tell you later.
Yeah.
But she hasn't told anybody yet, so I can't tell nobody.
That's good. I'm glad that.
Yeah, it's like
whoever that is.
Yeah.
Like that's I think a really cool thing to do.
Yeah, you literally, like, if you have a desire like that, you almost have to take action. And that, just like the podcast, imagine if I never would have taken action.
Yeah.
And imagine if I would have waited years to take action. You know, if I would have waited 3-4 years to start this, it would not be what it is today. And it never could have probably gotten to what it is today because I started it at a time in my life where I had time to pour into it. You know, as y'all know, if you watched the last episode, got a kid coming. You know, this brand, if it wasn't where it is right now, it wouldn't have ever got. Yeah, exactly. So the best day to start was yesterday, but the next best day is right now. You know what I'm saying? Today. So I don't know. I'm just so glad that things worked out the way they do. And yeah, for me personally, though, I think staying here is the spot. And here's one more thing. Every single day, you know, it's not about what you know, it's who you know. So every single day you're meeting more people, you're building your network, you're building your potential to do great things in whatever area you're in. So if you have that desire to move, do it sooner rather than later is what I'm trying to say. Because I just got asked today to speak at the Lee Summit Rotary, which I don't know if you know what that is. It's it's like the secret society.
I'm pretty sure that's the Rotary Club that I got an award for from
probably
high school. Is that the Rotary Club that does the Ray-Peck Student of the Months?
They're Lee Summit, so probably not. But there's probably a Raymore.
But it was the Rotary Club that I got. I got a Student of the Month.
There you go. Well, what it basically is, like, all the most influential people in Lee Summit meet every Thursday, I think it is, and they talk about ideas and whatnot. I just got asked to present in front of all of them.
That's really cool.
That could be huge. It could just be nothing, but it could be massive, you know, and that never would have happened if I would have left. Like, obviously that wouldn't have happened here. Yeah. But since I've been here, I've been meeting people. So shout out to Chris Madden. He's actually going to be on the podcast here in a couple of weeks.
That's cool.
So I've got him on before as well, but he's coming back on. And yeah, because I knew him and have done a bunch of work with Lee Summit Cares nonprofit, and they've loved what I do and see that I do it authentically. Like, I've done all of that work voluntary. Like, every single thing I've done for them was voluntary. Besides maybe one. Shout out to you guys. I think they paid me one time. But I've done a lot for them. And I don't ask for much because they give me so much. Like, this opportunity is going to be, I pray it's going to be very awesome.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah, so the sooner you move, the sooner you start, you know, growing your roots and really getting planted down where you're at. So if you have that desire, get on it. But my roots are right here in this community because this is the community that my friend passed away in. This is the community that we've made a big impact in. It's just the community that has my heart. So that's where we're staying. But anyways.
So I'm looking through the questions. Let me tell you question. I wrote down 8 different questions in case we really didn't start going anywhere.
Oh, gosh.
I'm going to say the ones that I feel like we've already covered.
I can yap on almost any question.
Have you seriously considered moving away?
Yes.
Answered it. Could the brand have happened elsewhere? We kind of talked about it.
I would say 100%. The message is needed everywhere. So I believe so. Now, maybe not at the scale because
it would happen differently.
I was also thinking about this today. This really got off the ground because of my friends and people that I knew. Because I remember when I first started it, people kept telling me, you can't make a business off of selling shirts to your friends. And I thought, you're right. But it's crazy. Today at our pop-up, Jason McKenna came, shout out to you guys. But everyone else was people we had never met before, really. Mm-hmm. So it's cool that it's gotten to that point. But I needed my friends at the start. So I still need them now. So love you guys.
Well,
but,
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like, if I didn't have that, it would have been tough to get the ball rolling, you know?
Without that, let's say it's starting here. This is you. You
Yeah.
would have had to spread from this one point to wherever.
Yeah.
But if you have 10 friends that are there, then you're spreading from 10 different points.
Oh, for
I talked to
sure.
people, there are people in Wichita never would have heard about it if you and me weren't friends.
For sure.
And there are people who then did. And that's
Yeah.
going to happen to everyone. Drew's in Iowa. You wouldn't have gotten there without it. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
maybe because obviously you have some family there, but like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
plants a flag there early and easily. And like that's what that foundation is. And so if you moved to Dallas, you had those connections, so you would have been able to have some sort of flags.
Yeah.
But it's not people like I bought in and supported the brand because I knew who you were and I trusted that.
Yeah.
And I believed in it. And obviously the message is great.
Yeah, but it was not
There
great
is
at the start.
there is so much more to it than just what the brand is.
Yeah.
And in my support of it and wanting to be here. And since we talked about it before, where it was like I always wanted to be more involved.
Yeah.
Since day one, because of who you were, not just because of the brand.
Yeah.
In Dallas, that wouldn't have been the case.
For sure.
But it's a message that could be spread anywhere. Like
Yeah.
you could have convinced people to. It would have happened differently, but the brand could have happened anywhere.
Yeah. agree.
But some of the other questions that we already did. Did staying ever feel like a failure? We didn't talk about that specifically,
No.
but no,
Yeah.
we talked about, no, we believed in it.
Yeah.
We talked about what's good about staying. Do you ever wonder what would have happened if you left? Like, do you ever sit and
Yeah, I think about it.
think about that?
I feel like I just would have driven back all the time for downtown days, or Lee Summit High School, or Lee Summit West High School wants me to come speak, or all my speaking gigs are right here. So, dude, there's really, like, logistically at this point, it doesn't even make sense. The roots are too deep at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe back then it would have played out differently, but I do think about that a lot. And, like, I guess our online sales would have been way up,
But it
but
had to be.
also the brand wouldn't be as big here.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
I think
it's
I would have
crazy.
been a very different person. Not necessarily in a bad way, but I think I would have been more introverted.
Yeah.
I think I would have appreciated the quiet and the slow times. And I've grown to appreciate those a lot more after college anyway.
Yeah.
Like taking the ability to like slow life down. I don't think you do this very much. But like not in a bad way, but like
Yeah.
I slow down life and I enjoy the little things. And like yesterday I got back from St. Louis and I was like, I want to mow the lawn. Like I needed to.
Yeah.
But it's like enjoying something like that, or grocery shopping every week, or little things like that. I think that would have been more of who I was, because here I have so many friends and family that like I care so deeply about that I want to stay connected to. So that's why like I went to St. Louis this weekend with family. Tomorrow night I'm going to the movie with my parents in
Yeah.
McKenna. Wednesday we're playing pickleball. Thursday my dad's coming over to help with house stuff. Like I see them so often because I want to.
Yeah.
And if I was far away, I would have had more phone calls, and I probably would play more video games than I do now, because that's a connection to my friends. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't have felt the need to go out and find a new social club or necessarily have a huge friend group. And maybe it would have happened, but I think there's a very realistic world that me and McKenna would have been more just us two. Like obviously it starts with me and her and then goes to everyone else anyway, but it wouldn't have spread as much. And I think it wouldn't have been a good or a bad thing, but that's what I think about a lot is what kind of personality I would have evolved into. I think it would have been very different if we went somewhere that wasn't Wichita or Kansas City. Because Wichita, we met a lot of people because of college. So we would have had a lot of people and a lot of roots built there. But if we had settled down somewhere else, like if we went to, I don't know why I keep going to Seattle, but if we went, I'm trying to think of somewhere that's just really far away.
Yeah. That
If we
is
went
pretty
to
far.
Seattle or Maine or
Yeah.
Nevada, I could never live there. That's way too hot.
Yeah.
Like I get overheated here, but like
It's hot today, man.
it's a warm one.
It
It's humid. I was really worried I was gonna have sweat stains when I got here, but I don't. What do you think is bad about staying? We talked about not like regretting it, but what is something you're sitting and thinking about and you're like, here because I stayed, this is not good.
I guess I'm missing out on knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Because when we go to Dallas, whether we have a great event or a rough event, which we've only had a couple, I think we lost money on one trip, but that's okay. Because when we go, even if we don't have a great event, we learn so much. I specifically learned so much. I'll tell Carson and Jack, like, hey, hold the booth down for like 30 minutes. I'm going to go talk to these other vendors.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how different the cultures are between Kansas City and Dallas. this is one thing that I really think is unfortunate about Kansas City is that a lot of the people in a creative space or in an entrepreneurial space are gatekeepers. Like they gatekeep information. They don't like to share information with each other. I'm not that guy. I'll tell y'all anything. Like and people know that. Like I tell too much. I tell so much that the booth next to me starts getting annoyed because they're like, you're telling them all of my secrets. You know, and I'm like, sorry, dude. Like there's enough for everyone. You know what I'm saying? And when you go to Dallas, they understand that. Like they're telling me manufacturers to use overseas, which I won't end up using them because I want to stick with Street Warehouse for life.
Yeah.
But
they're willing
the fact
to
they
share
even
it.
said that, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You know, I got a short manufacturer. We're going to do some mesh shorts. I've always wanted to do that. No one would ever help me out here, but I go to Dallas. I don't even ask. They're just telling me this stuff. I'm like, dude, the culture's different. Like it is really like we all win down there. Like everybody wants to see each other win. At least from my perspective, I don't live there obviously, so I don't know if that's really how it is. Maybe it's just because I'm the dude from Kansas City and everyone wants to be supportive to me or something.
And you're not really that much competition because they can give you this stuff and go, okay, go succeed states away from it.
So I don't know if that's really how it is, like if you lived there type of thing. But, you know, Sebastian, shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Arrington. Shout out to everybody Sid. You know, there's so many people that the hats I wear that say Texas on them that I wear all the time. The owner of that brand is like teaching me all about how to run meta ads, which I've never ran an ad, still haven't, but I probably should one of these days, you know, like I don't know. I know if I need to know though, I'll just hit up him because he is willing to share it, you know? So I'm missing out on that culture, and there's other cultures around the country that you could learn a lot from. And I hope to be a influence and like a difference maker here in Kansas City so we can improve our culture, because I mean, it's not fun sometimes, but there are some good people in Kansas City too, like Made Mob. Shout out to Made Mob. Those owners over there are incredible. And there's a lot of different ones as well in Kansas City that are great. But it's funny, it's like the ones that are doing the best in Kansas City are the best people, which it kind of always works out that way. But like the Made Mob owners, there's 3 of them. All 3 of them are just absolute dogs. Like they are the best. They host community events that literally they share free game with people. So like it is here, you know, if you look for it, you'll find it. So Made Mob, y'all are great for the city. They're doing great things. And there's a lot of other people as well doing great things for the city, but there's just so it's such a different environment at a pop-up, at least in Kansas City rather than in Dallas.
Yeah. I think one more camera reset and then we can kind of
I agree.
We can kind of wrap this thing up.
I got to get a new camera eventually so we don't have to do that anymore. Oh my goodness.
The other question I had, I technically had 2, but I don't really want to talk about the last one, so I'm not even going to bring it up.
Okay.
But the other
I
one
still
was
want to hear it later though.
If you did leave, where do you think you would have gone? We talked about probably Dallas for you is what it sounds like.
Or Maryville. I would have went back, but I think that is just like really small pond.
Honestly, my thinking with a town like Maryville is it's so small and like close enough to here that like why would you have chosen that over this?
Yeah.
Like if you like parts of Maryville, it's still close enough from here you can go back without tying yourself down to such a small area.
Yeah.
Like there's not as much opportunity as there would have been here.
For sure.
But I thought that was a fun one because a lot of people who listen are from around here. So it's fun to talk about the local places and things that are great about here, because I do think like people far away, I'm either say I'm from Kansas City if they're really far, or I'm from just south of Kansas City.
Yeah.
I very rarely say I'm from Belton or Lee Summit or Raymore or whatever it might be. Now I say I'm from South Kansas City because I live in South Kansas City now. But it truly is like not just Kansas City or South Kansas City, like our area, Raymore, Belton, Lee Summit. And I don't even, honestly, not even all of Lee Summit for me. Like the south side of Lee Summit is what I think of when I think of Lee Summit. Like it's way bigger than I give it enough credit for in my mind. It is so cool and it is so unique. And I know a big part of that is because it's what I grew up around.
Yeah.
But it truly needs a lot of appreciation. And a lot of people listening, I think it'll be cool because they can relate to it. And then if they don't, they can learn about it. But it's also, it has grown and changed so much. Like
for sure.
Hawaiian Bros, feel free to fact check me if this isn't the case. I don't even like I like Hawaiian Bros, but it's whatever. But the story I have been told about it is the 2 owners are brothers from Hawaii, hence the name.
Yeah.
Hawaiian Brothers. And they
Nice.
wanted to open a restaurant with what is traditional Hawaiian food in a place that never would have been exposed to it. They wanted to go to the Midwest. And I'm pretty sure the first one they opened up was the one that's in Belton.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, like that's what started the chain of it. Or
That's
first or maybe second. But it was like one of the original locations.
Let's go with first. That sounds way better.
I'm like 90% sure it wasn't first.
And
they were
then
like,
they
we want to
did-
expose that
Didn't they do like free something? Like,
with the Royals game.
yeah, and they
to
lost
start
like $1 million.
So to start this year, it was whenever they scored, I think 6 runs, you could get a free meal or something like that the next day. They had to switch it to only during home games because the Royals went on a stretch over like 2 weeks where they did it like every other game.
Yeah.
But hey, don't worry, they stink now. They lost by 21 the other day. They lost 22-1 on I think Thursday.
Yeah,
night.
that was unfortunate.
But like that wasn't a thing when we were younger. That came here in high school, and now it's like it's really expanding. They're in talks in Belton to get a minor league baseball team.
I didn't hear about
stuff
that.
like that. And I mean, it's early conversations, but like it's just expanding. Belton and Raymore, especially, like Lee Summit's always been pretty big. Like Lee Summit has been a big city since we've lived here, but Belton and Raymore both are expanding. Maud is new. Whataburger's new. Like so many of these things from when we were younger have been grown, but then also there's things that have always been there that, like the Belton movie theater, I think is going to shut down soon.
Oh, it's gone. It's
Is it
actually,
officially gone?
Yeah, it's gone. It's a church now.
It had kind of gone downhill. I knew it was going to get shut down. I didn't know officially that. But
Yeah,
other
and then
things like
downtown days, not to beat a dead horse, but
yeah,
it's gone.
but then like Aaron's, it's kind of fallen in some of the quality, but it's still there. It's still got everything. They revamped the volleyball courts and now have leagues there again when it had become like a garden. Like they're now doing summer leagues. The bowling is still really popular. Like it sometimes looks a little dated, but it's still there. The mini golf course sometimes is not in great condition, but like I went a couple weeks ago and like it's in pretty good.
I just got to say, R.I.P. Paradise Park, man.
Yes, but things like Paradise Park aren't there.
Yeah.
But that's part of what you're going to live with. McKenna's grandparents who have lived in Belton for forever, it used to be the tiniest town and now it's grown. And like that's part of growing and staying in the same place is understanding it's not going to be the same. Paradise Park was huge to us as a kid. It's just not going to be. Like things like that, even if they're the biggest thing in the world, won't be. Like
for sure.
And I think that's been really cool to see the growth and the change of those things. And I think it is a really cool place for people to come visit and see. It's not a tourist town by any means. But
well, they're putting a skyscraper in Peculiar. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
That's why I kept
Peculiar.
smiling.
You've been thinking about saying that?
Dude, I'm not funny, but I think I'm hilarious.
But you've been thinking about that.
I've been thinking about it for
You've been giggling a lot, and I didn't know why.
Yeah, I kept thinking. Oh my gosh.
In case you're wondering, if you're from around here, they're not putting a skyscraper.
They're definitely
Peculiar.
not.
Peculiar is one
If
that
they did though, I'd have a floor.
I think would be cool if like it eventually became like what Belton is, where it starts to grow and expand. Like because it was like growing up. So we went to Ray-Pac, Raymore, Peculiar. It was the two towns together. We always knew when it snowed, if my streets were barely getting cleared, school was getting canceled because Peculiar had its more like rural area. Yeah. And so the snowplows wouldn't get out there. So if my area that was kind of a suburban was barely getting plowed, theirs wasn't gonna. But it'd be cool if it grew. And like I there are neighborhoods that are kind of starting to grow. And that part of it I think is really cool as well.
I think it'd be cool if some of it didn't grow though, because some of it's getting too busy.
Absolutely. Yeah. And get to be that kind of suburban area still.
Yeah. But anyways, do we want to do the
talk about some of the events coming up?
Yeah.
We'll wrap it up. So
upcoming events. Well, first things first, happy 4th of July, everybody.
Yes.
We didn't really even say that at the start. I should have thrown that in there. My favorite holiday of the whole year.
Yes, we did talk about that last episode as well.
Now, when I say my favorite holiday, I say my favorite holiday is in the activities that take place. I love hitting the lake and going to the pool and fireworks and all that. Now, if we're talking meaning behind the holiday, it's still a great meaning. This is 250 years of America, but I got to give Easter and Christmas those top spots. But I will say...
the festivities of the day.
Yes. 4th of July, though, it's summertime. It is like the Super Bowl of the summer. It is like the midway point of the summer as well. So, I mean, let's get it. I hope y'all have a great 4th of July. I'm wearing the headband for it. You know what I'm saying? And I also want to say shout out to you guys for supporting the drop. I got some orders under the table. We had So many orders yesterday, dude.
I got the last extra large. These just got released. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'll just get my shirt tomorrow. There was one left in my size. I can look. There are maybe
Not a lot left.
maybe 20 of those shirts left. And
Yeah.
that number might be high. Like,
And they will be gone on Friday because we'll be at Royal Nutrition
yes.
on July 3rd. Tomorrow, if you're watching this, from 9 a.m. to 2. The 4th of July shirts, I call them the Made in America shirts. Come grab them. They're probably going to either be gone by then or at least be gone by the end of that event. That event is going to be a big one. Make sure to star that one on your calendar. I mean, it's tomorrow, or you just remember to pull up tomorrow. Really, it's Friday. That's weird saying that, but it will be tomorrow at Royal Nutrition. Make sure to pull up. That is going to be one of our biggest events of the summer. I think I haven't heard this much hype around an event in a while. So I'm excited for it. Young People of Jesus merch restocks. You guys keep asking me about it. Well, it's back, guys. It is back, and it will be there on Friday. And we're not doing any events this weekend. Saturday, I know I normally do events on Saturdays, but it's the 4th of July, and I'm out. I am out. I'm off, completely off. And Sunday, I am off as well. So I don't even think we have any after that. I don't think we have any that next week. I'm pretty sure we don't. Even that next weekend, on July 11th, we're probably going to be out at Raymore Nutrition. I think it's in the talks. It's probably going to get finalized today. That's on my to-do list. So Raymore Nutrition on July 11th, plan on that. But I'm also going to be doing some photo shoots and getting some online merch drops ready. I want to really focus in July on the online merch scene because we got orders yesterday from Colorado, Texas, California, all over the place. And I'm like, man, these people have been just getting neglected by me. You know, we get a huge merch order in, we post all about it. It never even makes it to the website.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm glad. I really am glad that yesterday's we made a point to drop it on the website because there are people that support us nationwide and they want to get merch, but it's just never on the website. So my goal in July is to get the website locked back in and be doing better at online orders. So I'm slowing down with events a little bit in July. That being said, there's still plenty of them. But this Friday is going to be a big one. So make sure to be there. And like I said, happy 4th of July, everybody. We are a Made in America company. And let's end this off with a political statement, okay? Here's my political statement of the year. I love this country. I love America. And I've loved America for my whole life, you know, no matter who's president, no matter what nonsense is going on in the media. And here's what I love the most. We have the World Cup right now. I don't really care about soccer. And I really didn't think I would care about the World Cup, but I actually care a lot about the World Cup because it has been so awesome. I've watched a little bit of the games, but what I've really seen a lot of is Instagram reels of people from other countries coming into America and saying, I heard this quote. It was a guy from Europe or something coming in. He said, if you want to hate America, listen to the media. If you want to love America, come to America, talk to Americans, and drive around. You'll love it.
And get the ranch. Have you seen Everyone Loves the Ranch?
Yeah.
That's been like the big thing is that they've loved
funny.
it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I love America. We take this country for granted. I'm wearing this goofy headband because I love America.
I've been trying to pay attention, but when you were like, oh, happy 4th of July, here's the bandana, it fell. And the
no
front's
way.
been looking kind of goofy. It probably doesn't look
and
that
I'm probably
bad,
going to make a reel out of it.
But it's, I haven't looked at your face the whole time. It's actually better now that you just messed with it.
Okay.
But it was like, yeah.
You should have seen at the event. I've been wearing this to my events the past couple of days, and someone took a picture of me, just like a candid.
Yeah, it looked like you had dog ears.
No, it was like barely hanging on my head, and my forehead looked like a 20 head.
I get it.
Yeah, I was like, dude, I love America. I think we take this country for granted. I used to think during COVID, before COVID actually, it was like 2019, I used to have these thoughts of like, gosh, we are so entitled. We take this country for granted. We take life for granted. We need some sort of reset. And next thing you know, COVID happens. And that was a big reset. The world that we knew got shut down, and in a lot of ways, it's never came back. And there's been a lot of good that's happened since COVID. I mean, Underwater FlyZone didn't exist before then, so it's crazy. Like, there's like a pre-COVID life that I lived, and now like post-COVID is like, dude, it's been a whole different lifestyle for the business reason, but also like day-to-day life. Traditions died because of COVID and stuff.
And we're born.
Huh?
And some traditions were born.
Yeah, that is true.
It is just a total stopgap of life for everyone who lived through it. It is 2 different eras. I mean, I graduated during it, so my life was always going to change. But it's absolutely been. It was a point where it changed.
Yeah,
and it was that's kind of cool.
But to me, it made me appreciate this country even more. But I just, you can't turn on the news without seeing division and all of that. So that's why I wore this shirt today. I was gonna wear the American shirt, but I'm glad I couldn't find it because I wanted to wear this one anyways. It's the Refuse to Be Enemies t-shirt, and there's a reason we put that message out. That is another political statement. In a world full of hate, we choose to love. You know what I'm saying? That is the mindset that I want to carry into everyday life. Every interaction we have, whether you're wearing a red hat that says "Make America Great Again," or you're coming into the booth with the complete opposite of that. Whoever you are coming into our booth, coming into our interaction, we're showing you the same love. We're showing you the same respect. You're getting the same discount. You know what I'm saying? And we love you guys, man. I don't care about all this nonsense. Yeah. I think it's important to refuse to be enemies. You know what I'm saying? And I loved that quote that European guy said. If you want to hate America, listen to the media. But if you want to love it, just go to America and talk to people and drive around. Yeah. I'm like, dude, yes.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'll wrap it up here.
Okay.
That's a great way to end it. I appreciate y'all listening. Again, if you are here, comment, interact about questions we talked about, give ideas of things you want to hear, games we could play at the beginning, especially the people that are listening now. You are the people that we want to be able to make this for. What is entertaining? What is working? What isn't? Please let us know.
And you're the people that get the free shipping code.
Yes, even if you're going to put it in the text at the beginning of the episode like you did last week.
I did do that. Should I not do that anymore? I don't know. But here's the deal. I just wanted to make this announcement too. I'm switching the shipping code every week moving forward. We'll keep it WILIWL26 for this week, but next week it's going to be probably WILIWL35 or a random number. Yeah, so you got to pay attention to it because, I don't know, I just want to do that just so people aren't, watching one episode and taking that.
Yeah.
I'm literally going to go into Shopify and change it every week because I'm going to start promoting to people, hey, if you want free shipping, go watch the podcast.
And I don't even think it should always be just changing the numbers, because then someone might get that and just try all the different numbers.
True. My thought is just like most recent, and also I might not always say it at the end of the episode. I might say it in the middle and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I want it to not be people that just click on the video and see the free shipping code. I want it to be people that listen to the whole thing. So make sure to pay attention if you do want that code.
Yeah. So this week is still...
It's still WILIWL.
Okay.
WILIWL 26.
Yes.
This week.
Still this week.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all for listening. We will see you all next week.
Love you guys.
On the next episode of the Underwater
Happy
Fly
4th,
Zone.
baby. Let's go.